Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Now apparently the WBC Diamond Belt in the heavyweight division will be on the line for Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin. Now, at the moment Dillian Whyte is WBC Interim World Champion, and Mauricio Sulaiman explained that the day after Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury 3, Dillian Whyte will be called as mandatory. So Dillian Whyte will get his opportunity this time, provided he does come through Alexander Povetkin, and that's going to be a difficult fight, but still, that is what is going to happen, provided Whyte wins. And no matter what happens between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder in their third fight, Dillian Whyte will be called as mandatory. And then obviously the fight will happen between the winner of that fight and obviously hopefully Dillian Whyte in early 2021. Now, the Diamond Belt hasn't been fought for in the heavyweight division just yet. Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury could have fought for it, I believe, perhaps last year, when there was potentially going to be a fight between them. And Tyson Fury did explain that if the WBC Diamond Belt was on the line, then he would fight Dillian Whyte, and I believe that was last year. But when Eddie Hearn went to the trouble of getting that sorted and the WBC agreeing that the Diamond Belt could be on the line for a fight between Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury said that he was no longer keen on the fight. He just wanted to give Eddie Hearn some running around to do. So ultimately, that fight never happened. But now, the WBC Diamond Belt will be fought for the first time in the heavyweight division between Dillian Whyte and Alexander Povetkin. Now, the WBC do seem to be making some different moves with their belts. They have now said that apparently the franchise champion status can be taken and won and lost. So ultimately, WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman has explained that the fight between Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko, where the WBC Franchise Championship will be on the line, Teofimo Lopez can win that status if he beats Lomachenko. Originally, what it was going to be is that the franchise champion remains franchise champion whether they win or lose, but the winner takes the Diamond Belt, and that was what they were going to do with that. But now, apparently in that fight, Lomachenko, if he loses, will no longer be franchise champion. So they don't really know what they're doing with this franchise champion status at the moment. And I don't think it's good for boxing, but I mean, they just seem to be creating belt after belt after belt. And I guess they get more sanctioning fees for that. So they are going to continue to do that. Also, the WBC explained, or Mauricio Sulaiman did, that they are planning on possibly making a new division between cruiserweight and heavyweight. Isn't that the reason why the cruiserweight division was created in the first place? To accommodate fighters who are too big and too heavy to compete in the light heavyweight division, but are too small, realistically, to go in there and challenge with the bigger heavyweights. So that was why the cruiserweight division was formed. Now they're planning on making another division between cruiserweight and heavyweight, and I believe the limit would be 225 pounds. That would be 16 stone 1 pounds, and there would be a lot of heavyweights lost to that division, and I don't know whether there would be many heavyweights that would want to maybe go into a new division. I know that they could win a world title in that division, but there's no real history to it. I mean, look at the cruiserweight division. There was a lot of building and a process that took place for that to be considered as a proper division. It is still quite a young division, so I don't see the point in really making another one. Obviously, in the amateurs, they do have like heavyweight and super heavyweight, but in the amateurs, heavyweight is kind of like cruiserweight, super heavyweight is like heavyweight. It's quite complicated, but the WBC do continue to complicate things with their belts and now planning on making another weight division. I don't know what they are planning to do with it, but ultimately it is something that they are considering. Now let's get back to Dillian Whyte and this Diamond Belt on the line for his fight with Alexander Povetkin. It seems like maybe, finally, Dillian Whyte is in favour with the WBC because them explaining that he will get his mandatory opportunity after Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 3, that means that they are not going to make the winner of that fight franchise champion, like possibly we feared, because if they make that winner franchise champion, that means that they do not have to fight mandatories, meaning that Dillian Whyte misses his opportunity again. I know that he becomes world champion overnight, just like that, but Dillian Whyte doesn't want that. He wants the big fights. He wants to win it in the ring and have his name mentioned and the new WBC world champion, provided he can win that fight. That is what Dillian Whyte wants. He wants to fight Tyson Fury. He wants to fight Deontay Wilder. In fact, he wants to fight both of them because he doesn't like Deontay Wilder, so he wants to give him a good lesson inside the ring. So he will happily fight either fighter or hopefully both of them, because I do believe that Dillian Whyte wants to fight both of them down the line. This is what Maurizio Sulaiman had to say about the WBC Diamond Belt being on the line. Both fighters are sensational fighters. Povetkin and Whyte are both former silver champions of the WBC. They have been training in extreme circumstances and they are very professional. The WBC is delighted to be part of this fight as WBC Interim Championship and also to award the Diamond Belt, which is a special trophy to recognise this great bout. So that means that the WBC Interim World Championship will still be on the line. Obviously, Dillian Whyte is interim champion and the winner will also be awarded the Diamond Belt. So they will get 2 WBC World titles. So that's kind of cool, I guess. But it's just kind of a testament to how many belts there are from the WBC in the heavyweight division and across boxing. I mean, there are 4 major world championship titles. There is the IBF, WBO, WBA, and WBC. But the WBC seem to have almost as many as those 4 as well. So it seems like you have 4 world titles within the WBC. You have like 2 titles in the WBA. So there seems to be a lot of titles going around, whether it be WBC, WBA, the IBF as well, and the WBO. So what counts as a legitimate world championship now? We don't really know. It's quite foggy because we don't know how they have sorted this out. I don't think even they know what is a real world title at the moment. Does the Diamond Belt really mean anything? Apparently, at one point it was considered to be more prestigious than the genuine WBC World Championship. I mean, maybe that was why it was introduced as like a super championship. Then they brought in the franchise status. So I don't really know what these governing bodies are getting up to by making all of these world titles. Obviously, they get more sanctioning fees for more belts that are on the line. They get a sanctioning fee for every single fight where their belt is on the line. So if they say have 2 or 3 different world titles in the same division, they can have 2 or 3 different world champions who are paying sanctioning fees for their belt. More money at the end of the day. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about this fight between Dillian Whyte and Alexander Povetkin, the battle of the left hooks. This fight is getting very, very close, 22nd of August, and everything is on the line for Dillian Whyte, all of what he has worked for, and Alexander Povetkin as well, because Alexander Povetkin, I believe, is at a point in his career where he's thinking, if I can't beat these guys, then I'm not beating the world champions, so I'm just going to take these fights and work my way back up. And you have to respect him for his last 2 fights, or his last 3 fights after Dillian Whyte, whether he wins or loses, because he fought Hughie Fury, Michael Hunter, then Dillian Whyte. So he's not messing around. He's taking on the younger fighters in the division to get back to the top and get another world title shot. So Dillian Whyte can expect a very game and very hungry Alexander Povetkin on August 22nd. This is it for Alexander Povetkin as well. He puts himself in a great position by beating Dillian Whyte. So Dillian Whyte is going to have to be on his A game, although he will be called as mandatory after Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder 3. That is only provided he beats Alexander Povetkin. So I know it's great news that Dillian Whyte will have that opportunity early next year. Finally, it has been confirmed after too long. Now is not the time to take his eye off the ball, and I don't believe he will. Dillian Whyte is a consummate professional, because look what happened last year in the fight with Oscar Rivas. All of what he was going through in the build-up to the fight, yet still he got in there and won. He didn't get much sleep at all before the night of the fight, because obviously he didn't know whether he was even going to be fighting, but he was cleared, everything was sorted out and straightened out, but still he had to go through all of that mental stress and still get in the ring and get the job done. So that proves the mental strength of Dillian Whyte. So I believe that he will not be sidetracked when he gets in there with Alexander Povetkin, because let's be real, Dillian Whyte just wants to fight. He wants to be a world champion, but he's doing what he loves to do. So getting in there and having a fight with Alexander Povetkin is going to be the only thing on Dillian Whyte's mind. Now, Dillian Whyte did respond to the WBC saying that he will fight the winner of Fury vs Wilder 3. He put this on his Instagram page. It will be a painful night for one of them. #maximum violence. So he is keen to get in there with the winner of that fight, but again, he cannot take his eye off the ball. Alexander Povetkin is the one preventing him from getting to that stage, to getting to that world title fight that he has worked so hard for. So, Alexander Povetkin is #1 priority for Dillian Whyte at the moment. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this? The WBC world title is right there in front of Dillian Whyte, that opportunity that he has waited for. It's coming very, very soon, but first, there is a tough Russian standing in his way. Alexander Povetkin, the WBC Interim World Championship that Dillian Whyte holds, will be on the line. The WBC Diamond Belt will also be on the line for the first time in a heavyweight bout for Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin. Guys, anyway, drop your thoughts in the comments below, leave a thumbs up, and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.